𝗙𝗙𝗫. Shall we just start with the obvious? Look at that shit, bro. No! Dude! 115. Dude, it was like 113 like 2 hours ago. 2 weeks ago, it was $60. Dude, that is crazy. And it is only gonna get worse. I'm telling you right now, what is happening with this war and like Trump's meltdown, the MAGA crash out has begun. They're just really desperate right now, guys. And this is not helping. And it's gonna get worse. Here was JD Vance. This was during the campaign, guys. The peace president.
My honest guidance to those young men, and I think their concerns are very legitimate, but if you're worried about the world spinning out of control, if you're worried about a military draft, if you're worried about, God forbid, a world war, the best way to prevent it is to vote for Donald Trump. And I really believe that.
But so what's crazy about this is what Karoline Leavitt said earlier today.
Mothers out there are worried that we're going to have a draft, that they're going to see their sons get in and daughters get involved in this. What do you want to say about the president's plans for troops on the ground? As we know, it's been largely an air campaign up until now.
It has been, and it will continue to be, and President Trump wisely does not remove options off of the table.
Wisely keeps his options on the table. Yeah, great. Dude, my kid ain't going to war. There's no fucking way, bro. I will put him up in Canada like long before that happens, bro. Dude, it's not good, man. It is not good. I mean, isn't it crazy? Look at 𝗏𝗏 over here, dude. She looks like she is getting ready to pull one through 40 feet of garden hose. Dude, what is up? Oh, shit, bro. She's getting ready. Dude, she is ready to rumble. She is ready to go, boss. Jesus. Dude, what are we doing? Seriously. What the fuck is going on? Like, there's so much chaos right now. The other news that obviously was problematic, guys, is the fact that we know they've been dodging the whole school thing. And it definitely, we know that missile, the school missile, came from America. I know they were saying it didn't, blah, blah, blah. They're trying to dodge this. They're going to continue trying to dodge this.
Have you made any conclusions about whether or not the United States, inadvertently or not, was involved in any military strike at that school?
Well, we're still investigating, and that's where I'll leave it today. But what I will emphasize to you and to the world is that unlike our adversaries, the Iranians, we never target civilians.
Dude, see, again, it's with that propaganda. Unlike Iran, right?
There's a report late in the week from 2 officials that it was likely U.S. involvement. Is that report false?
I've already said we're investigating.
If you could tell the American public it definitively was not us, you would tell us, wouldn't you?
I would say that it's being investigated, which is the only answer I'm prepared to give.
Yeah, dude, that's the only answer they're ever going to give. But it looks like, yes, it came from the U.S., and it looks like maybe they fired 2 missiles. I don't know, dude. It is not going to end well for these guys. They want to investigate it as a war crime. I mean, here's what we got. Drop site said footage reviewed and geolocated by Bellingcat confirms US Tomahawk missiles hit the girls' primary school in southern Iran that killed 180 people, most of them children. Researcher Trevor Ball notes Israel does not possess Tomahawk missiles. The United States does. Okay? And there's footage showing, Jesus, dude. Footage is showing that is a Tomahawk, right? It's got that little fin there. So it was the U.S. that struck the area, and it shows smoke already rising from the vicinity of the girls' school. We know this is Tomahawks. We know those are U.S. missiles. The one already hit the school by the time this one lands. So we know. Investigating. Jesus. Dude, this shit is unbelievable, man. Watching these missiles hit is like, dude, stuff is so creepy, man. Like, I don't understand why we got to be doing this shit. And why we got roped into this, and how I feel like it's not going to end well. This is going to drag on for a while. And it's having such insane costs, like across the board. I mean, not the least of which is like, whatever, we got the oil prices, but beyond the oil prices is the black rain. They've been bombing refineries. They've been bombing like oil tankers and shit, and all of the oil production systems in Iran. So Tehran, like all of those hydrocarbons and all that shit is going into the atmosphere, which is creating like a chemical rain. It's just going to be profoundly unhealthy in that city long term. I mean, we could have a whole generation of young Iranian people just growing up fucked up. The rain is nasty. It's like sludge. I mean, this is not new, okay? We know this. We know the consequences of these types of things. There's going to be like long-term effects. Dude, Trump doesn't care. I don't understand what their end game is with this, you know. And Hegseth on 60 Minutes doing his little PR campaign, he seems to be loving it, dude.
This is war. This is conflict. This is bringing your enemy to their knees. Now, whether they will have a ceremony in Tehran Square and surrender, that's up to them.
Yeah, but think about that statement there, right? You see that? You see what he said there? He said whether they have a ceremony and like announce their surrender, that's up to them. But like, that's another way of saying that there's going to be no official end, is what he's saying right there. Because if they had some big ceremony where they're like, we give up, we're done, please, US, stop bombing us, that would be something that they would then broadcast, victory. But if they don't do that, if they don't do some grandiose display of like American victory, that this shit is going to continue. And I mean, this guy, dude, like, what a scoundrel. I mean, look at that, dude. We knew that this guy was a white Christian nationalist with infidel tattoos, and his own military unit, when he was in the military in the National Guard, reported him because of how extreme he was. The minute this guy became in charge of the Department of Defense, and then they wanted to call it the Department of War and all this bullshit, and he's an alcoholic and he's a rapist and he is a degenerate. He fired all the competent generals. He is like basically turned the DOD into just a Trump sniffing machine. But we knew this. We knew this. Senators approved this guy because we have some crazy Christian zealots who are trying to bring about the rapture.
For far too long, our country's gaze was only on borders in far-flung places. Not our own border, not our own hemisphere, not the Western Hemisphere.
Did you see the little head move when he does it? I mean, he knew he was doing it. Look at the head move. Watch his head. As his arm extends, he does a little like, watch his head, guys.
For far too long, our country's gaze was only on borders in far-flung places.
Yeah,
not our own
he
border,
knows it,
not
dude. You can see the brow. It's like the same shit Elon did, where they just give you that moment. They give you that moment, right? Right? They give you that moment right there, dude. Brutal. Brutal, brutal, brutal. But look at what he says. Trump says short-term oil prices which will drop rapidly when the destruction of the Iran nuclear threat is over, is a very small price to pay for USA and world safety and peace. Only fools would think differently. Let me just tell you guys, the prices aren't going to just drop when this is over. I mean, all of the infrastructure that is going to get destroyed, like already they've destroyed radar dishes, refineries, pipelines, like they have gone like so haywire. And this is the beginning. If this thing drags on like 6 months, it's going to be bad, guys. All of that infrastructure is not going to rebuild itself overnight. Those supply lines, supply chains, and the shipping is not going to just refurbish itself overnight. We may, in addition to crazy price hikes, we may be getting shortages as well. But like, dude, if you have dual citizenship, do not use the US passport. Let me just tell you. All right? If you have dual citizenship, use the Canadian passport. What is up, guys? Thank you so much for watching. You like the video, you want to support independent resistance media, you know what to do. Drop that sub, hit the like button, and please share it. And we do love our members, so if you want to become a member, it's another really great way to support. Thanks again for everything, guys. I'll see you next time. Let's go.